Okay, I've been seeing a number of my fellow leftists creating content yesterday with this big white piece from Wired that leftist content creators were found to be funded by dark money through an organization called Chorus. Excuse me. And I'm going to give my hot take on this. This is my opinion, having been in politics, involved in politics for many decades. The Republican Party has pummeled us. They've pummeled us in the messaging war, the social media war, the propaganda war, the mainstream media war. They have been funded by billionaires on the right, evangelicals, tech bros, you name it. They've been funding the likes of Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA, a whole bunch of podcasters on the right. The list goes on and on. And if Democrats have a chance to even catch up to them in all those areas, beat them in those areas, we need to be funded. We need to be funded by billionaires on the left. It costs money to get a podcast up and running, to advertise, to push content. Same with social media influencers. No, I'm not getting any funding. I am just telling you that this was a strategy that worked on the right. And if we think we can play purity politics and just ignore billionaires on the left trying to combat the messaging, combat the propaganda, we're just screwed. So I think this is great. I think that we've got to see a lot of money pumped into social media and everything like that. I mean, we've got to change the mindsets of tens of millions of Americans who are getting blasted by a well-oiled right-wing extremist machine. Okay? That being said, we also have to be very cautious because propaganda is the name of the game and it is here to stay. And unfortunately, both parties have to play the game. I would be weary of leftist creators who seem to be putting out a coordinated hit, let's say on progressives, let's say on candidates who are willing to speak out against Israel. I think we all know what we're talking about. Because there can be billionaires on the left that are also funding AIPAC, and you name it. We got to be very careful about that. I would also be careful of leftist content creators. This is me personally, who've always been about their image, putting on a good show for like shares and then that paycheck, because intuitively, my gut tells me they could sell themselves to the highest bidder. We've already seen a lot of people on the left move to the right for the highest bidder. As long as we have our own internal value systems and we're very careful to check, are these emotions mine or did somebody rage bait me into having these emotions? Is my understanding of the situation a full grasp of everything, including the complexities and gray areas, or was I fed just one side of an issue and that's all I know? Just check that. I'm very careful not to just follow content creators like that. I try to find content creators that get more into the deeper conversations and give a better understanding of things. Yeah, we have to look at, the leftist billionaires funding this organization called Chorus. I don't know. Are they pro AIPAC funders as well? I don't know. But I know that we can't beat Republicans with that same money backing us. Us meaning the whole left messaging movement. Even the DNC has come close to recognizing that they failed miserably with social media and left-leaning voices. And they recognize that that's where they got to pump a lot of money. So don't be so quick to judge this as negative. We are going to lose if we play purity politics in this arena. No, that's my thought.